Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about Hero of Remnant. So yeah, let's begin, shall we, ladies and gents? So, as we currently see now a pretty much tired Izuku, as Izuku is currently still still pretty much fighting against a still pissed off Neapolitan, as Neo is currently wanting to get revenge for you know, what he'd done to Roman, as she's currently using her now sharpened umbrella to basically try and strike him down. As while doing so, he would notice something behind him. He would look and would see explosions after explosion happening, as he'd say, "Oh shit," he would say, as he would see several Grimm, after hearing the commotion, would start rushing in, going inside of the tunnel, as you'd say, "Damn it." As while saying this, Izuku would start activating one of his commandments. As Izuku would start activating Truth. He's specifically going to use Galan's abilities, because currently the commandment of Truth is pretty much useless at this point right now. Wait for a second, my ear. He's specifically going to use his signature ability, known as, I think it was called Critical Over. Yeah. So, as doing so, after getting Galan's abilities, or using the Truth commandment, he would slowly start growing in size, as sharp armor would slowly start forming around him. More specifically, around his wrists, and also a part of his face, as it would resemble that of some sort of masquerade-like mask. He would also give him 2 extra arms, as slowly something would start appearing in one of his hands, being that of a halberd. He would also be wielding his signature weapon, which is that of the... while also wielding up his Axe Kopesh blade, or Axe Kopesh. As while doing so, he would say, "This'll be fun," he would say, as the woman once again would look really pissed and would try to strike him down with her umbrella weapon. At this point, whatever the name of Neo's weapon is, I've been trying to search it up, but there's no name for it, even in the wiki for some reason. Anyway, continuing on, he would start using Critical Over, as he would enhance his physical strength to its limit. As while doing so, he would start striking down the actual cart that they're in, with each strike destroying it, tearing holes in it. As for our girl Neo's currently trying to dodge each attack, as while doing so, also using illusions as well, creating multiple doubles of herself, while also trying to escape to go into the front of the car to try and stop RWBY and that of, Oobleck. As when Izuku saw this, he would say, "Oh no, you don't," he would say, as he would start rushing towards her, as he would activate his signature, one of Galan's signature attacks. Or should I say, infamous. As Izuku would use one of Galan's signature attacks, as he would say, "Zanparazan!" he would say, jumping into the air, as he pierces the ground with or more specifically with the cart, or one of the cars there, as before, Neo can actually reach towards, try and run away, she would be near the actual attack, as the attack would destroy the cart itself, causing them to basically, fall off the actual, train. Doing so, they would basically fall to the ground on the tracks, as when Izuku did that, he would say, "I should have thought that over," he would say. As when saying this, he would look towards where the poor Neo was there. Neo is currently just heaving and breathing heavily, as she would look towards Izuku with a rage-fueled look. As Izuku would say, alright, I know this is bad, but still," before he can actually explain, she would rush towards him once again with her angered face, as she would start trying to strike him down. Izuku, seeing this, he would say, guess I'll have to do this then. As, sorry about that. As after the, but before she could actually strike him down, Izuku would use a simple punch and causing her to be knocked out. As doing so, he would say, I had to get back to the train immediately. Doing so, he would start using critical over once again as he would start running away towards the train as several Grim would rush towards where the train was and start going towards the direction of the where the train is going to crash. So, as this happens, Izuku would be running as fast as he can, almost similar to the Flash. Not that Flash, the one from like the recent the Flash movie. No, I do not want to remember that. I remember watching that and it was terrible. As while Izuku is running towards the train, he would jump into the air as you would finally arrive back on the train, specifically in the middle, in like one of the middle carts, as you would start running towards the engine, or at least the actual like engine room. After running up top, or at least like the top part or the roof, he would arrive at the actual front of the train, as you would say, "Guys, so how did your?" As he would see the rest of Team RWBY, as they're currently quite tired, as you'd say, "Yeah, we're currently trying to stop the train," said a somewhat angry Yang, as she's trying to stop it. As while doing so, Blake is currently going like, "Yes, but unfortunately, the only problem is," as she would look towards the actual controls, as Izuku would see them, as he would say, "Don't you? Oh no." As he would see that the actual controls are broken, as you say, "Guess I'll just have to do this then." As he would say, better brace yourselves, guys," he would say. As after hearing that, Dr. Ublet would say, what are you doing there? What are you doing there, my boy?" You would say. As you would say, "Something stupid and reckless." As after saying that, he would jump out of the front of the train as he would start using Galand again, using critical over to increase his speed. As after getting in front of the train, he would do something similar to that of, I think it was from, not Superman, I meant, Spider-Man. As when he got in front of the train, he would try to stop the train by pushing it backwards. As because of the speed, it would burn his hand and also somewhat hurt him a bit. As he's currently trying to push it away while also planting his feet on the ground to try and stop it. As while doing so, the train would be almost near the entrance of Vale, or at least the wall of Vale. As when Izuku saw this, he would say, "Shit, I need to use critical over again. Galand." As Galand would say, "Got it, boss." As he would tell him to try and do as he can. As while doing so, he would start using more and more and more of critical over, causing his body to basically strain as his veins would start popping out. As while doing so, one of his eyes would slowly start bleeding. As while doing so, he would try and try to stop the train by basically slamming his feet onto the ground once again. While doing so, some of Team RWBY are cheering him on, including Dr. Ublek to try and motivate him. As while this was happening, several Grim would be in the back, following the train, wanting to cause chaos. Wait for a second, my teeth. Okay, anyway, continuing on. As we currently see Izuku is currently still trying to stop the train. As after about a grueling minute, as it slowly starts panning out to see Izuku nearing towards the train almost nearing towards the actual the actual wall to getting ready to explode it. As at the last moment, Izuku would gain the strength needed as he would push the train all the way back. While doing so, the rest of Team RWBY would see this as they would get off, as Izuku would use the last of critical over and would push the train all the way back. Doing so, several Grimm would be there as they would get slammed by the train, as they would kill multiple Grimm from, I think, maybe Borbatus, Beowulfs, and also some Basilisks. I think that's the name of the actual Grimm, the one that resembles that of a two-headed snake. As when he finished that, Izuku would be panting as blood would slowly start coming out of his body. As Yang would say, "We did it! We did it!" She would say as the rest of the team celebrated, including that of our boy, Dr. Oobleck. Wait for a second. As while saying this, everybody would celebrate seeing that they finally did it. As Izuku would be there kinda tired, he would say, "Guys," as they would see Izuku, as one of them being that of voice would say, "Izuku, are you okay?" She would see, as after seeing his face, she would be surprised seeing him still bleeding. As she would say, "Izuku, you're bleeding, you need to..." As Izuku would say, "I'm fine. I need to get out of here. Those Grimm." As while saying this, Oobleck would say, "Oh, don't worry." As Oobleck would say, "Oh, don't worry. I called the cavalry," he would say. After saying this, a few people would arrive, being that of Ironwood. As Izuku would say, "Dad? How are you?" As he would say, "Son, are you alright? You look like you're..." As you'd say, "I'm fine. We need to stop the Grimm before..." As you'd say, "Don't worry, I got this." After saying that, he would snap his fingers as a few Atlas robots would appear. As other students would finally arrive, as they would charge in as well. Being that of, I guess you can say, Team Juniper and some other students from the other academies. As after seeing the Grimm would charge in and would start trying to kill them. Though thanks to the help of Izuku weakening some of their, or at least thinning out some of their numbers, it was pretty much easy for them to beat. As Izuku would say, "Dad, I did it. I mean those..." As he would start feeling like he's a bit, dizzy, as you'd say, "Don't worry, son. You did your best. You can rest now. I'm proud of you." And so, Izuku would fall to sleep. And so, this is where we're gonna be ending off season, or volume 2. So, yeah. So, it's a big change from what happened in canon. So yeah, so before I actually leave this episode, I wanted to say this. I've been trying to make a what if for Danmachi. Specifically Izuku in Danmachi. The only problem is I have a few ideas for it. One of them being that either Izuku has the abilities of a certain Lancer from Fate Stay Night, or the powers to use a Kagane, or more specifically, become a ghoul from Tokyo Ghoul, or my favorite currently, him being a Quincy. So yeah, I'm probably going to be making a poll for that soon, but either way, this is going to be the end of this episode. And so yeah, I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time, ladies and gents. Bye-bye!